Our flight was delayed yesterday, so we didn't get in until a little after midnight, which is 2 a.m. East Coast time. So I slept a lot last night. But we couldn't really see anything because it was dark when we were driving over. I just opened my blinds to look out and check the weather this morning. And oh, by the way, they're the Rocky Mountains. So beautiful. So I'm going to spend this morning, I'm going to go for a little walk and check out Liberty Park Amusement, which is a little amusement park. It's just like a Ferris wheel and a carousel, and looks cute. But first I have to make tea. My beautiful travel kettle. Not awake enough to have this conversation. Oh my goodness, look at your little blue boom. Yes, strut. Not me getting all excited. It's just where you get beer. Good morning. Today's Tuesday. And I didn't do much checking in yesterday, but I did visit a carousel, which was really lovely. And I went to an aviary, which was really lovely. And we had our first show, which was good. It was good. Good audience. My body has like adjusted to the mountain time zone plus some. I just like sleep all the time. I do think the altitude is different here. Does that make you sleepier? Could that be why I'm just such a little sleepy baby? Maybe. Today I'm going to a yarn store. There's a yarn store just a few blocks from our hotel. It is called Handmade Salt Lake City. So I'm gonna go check that out. They open in 50 minutes. So I'll do a little maybe tidying of my hotel room, because man, I can make a hotel room messy in 10 seconds flat. And then I'm gonna go get some yarn. Last night I did just make sure that my tour blanket is ready to go, ready for some new additions. So I'll show you how it's going. Look how cute it is. Oh, I love it. I've left these threads, these ends to continue attaching. So that's why it's looking a little dangly. I think it looks really great. I am like super excited about it. As a reminder, or if this is your first time seeing this blanket, the way that it goes is it starts, I need more hands. What if I do this? Oh, yeah, it's better. It starts here and it goes up and around and then up and then around. So the next set of squares will go like this. I did it this way because this is like an infinity project. Gosh, if you've watched any of my videos, you've heard me talk about this blanket a million times. But the idea is that I just keep adding squares until I am done with my career, which will hopefully be many, many, many years. So I decided to go in sort of a square spiral so that I could keep track of first of all, keep track of the, gosh, does altitude affect your ability to speak as well? Keep track of the order of things, right? That spiral made it easier than back and forth somehow to my brain, but also because I don't know how many squares it's going to be. It's not like I'm getting a square from every state or I'm getting a square from every tour I go on. It's like yeah, anytime I go on tour, if I find a yarn store, I get some yarn. So my plan is to just keep making it in this spiral until it's ridiculously big, and then I will probably start rectangling it out, because I would probably want it to be a rectangle and not a square, although technically a square is a rectangle, but you know what I mean. I want one side longer, the two sides longer. Why am I trying to talk right now? Okay. Chill day today. I'm gonna have a chill day today. And then tomorrow I'm going to another yarn store with my friend Nicole, and we are going to also go see a carousel, which is exciting. The carousel I saw yesterday was really cool. But hilariously, it's like in this park, nobody was there. I mean, it's like a Monday morning, so why would anybody be there anyway? But yeah, there was nobody there, and they were opening up a little bit late, and I got there and it was closed, and I was really disappointed. And then I saw the guy opening it. I was like, oh my gosh, is the carousel gonna run today? And he said, yes, it will. And I was like, all right, I'm gonna go to the bird watching. There's like an aviary right next door. I'm gonna go to the aviary, and then I'll just like come back, like whenever, you know, take your time setting up. And I came back, and he is like the only guy operating the 4 rides they had. They had 5 rides. They had a carousel, a Ferris wheel, a little train that takes you around the park, and these like little cars that drive around. Oh, and swings. Although I think the swings were out of commission, but the many of the cars. There were cars and planes. Those 2 rides were for teeny tiny little babies. But I came back, and he was giving somebody a ride on the train, which was adorable. And then he came over and operated the carousel just for me. And he's like, I don't know why our music's not working. There should be music playing, but there wasn't. So it's just me riding this carousel in the silence while this guy stands in the middle. I was like, this is fun. It was so awkward, but also worth it. Yeah. All right, I'm gonna stop talking at the camera, or attempting to talk at the camera. And I'll see you at the yarn store. Bye. Hi. Okay, so I went to the yarn store, which is not called Handmade at all. It's called Handwork, which is why I couldn't find it on Instagram. And let me show you what I got. They didn't have any mini skeins of local stuff, so I ended up with a big guy, and they wound it for me. Oh, I love it. I was quite tempted to get a different color that's sort of a burgundy-ish wine color, maybe. I have so many of that color that I thought, well, this will be great. I could like just make some kind of crazy, all of these wine colors combined. But then I held this one next to the wine color and realized this is really beautiful in contrast. This is the one that first called to me, and my weird thing about this blanket is like whatever the one that first calls to me is the one I should get. So that's the one. This is from Yarn Nouveau. And this is their Bliss sock, which is 80% superwash merino, 10% cashmere, 10% nylon. And this is the colorway Crescent. And I love it. I love it already. I'm gonna try and make my square before I go to work this afternoon. We'll see. We'll see if I get it done. So that's my yarn, but I also got some notions. Oh my God. I've somehow covered every inch of this plethora of counter space with things. I got this little tin. It's a squirrel. And he's knitting. I love squirrels, and I always do this like squirrel thing. A squirrel has become my emoji that I use at work. It's a thing. It's like a chunk of my personality. So I had to get this. This is from Firefly Notes. Gosh, there's so many cute ones though. And they had little ones. They didn't have a little one with the squirrel one. They actually, I looked it up. They don't make one with the squirrel one because the little ones were so cute. And then I got also from Firefly Notes these little stitch markers, Overcast. And as I mentioned, I often buy the things on these trips because it's like the moment or the name or something like that. Okay, so on this tour, I am singing a solo from Somewhere Over the Rainbow. And we're doing a whole set of songs from The Wizard of Oz, The Wiz, and Wicked. And so I am singing a solo from Somewhere Over the Rainbow. And this set of stitch markers is a little umbrella, and then a bunch of raindrops. And I kid you not, when I found this, Judy Garland was singing Somewhere Over the Rainbow on their sound system. So I had to get it. That was like, well, I picked my stitch marker, which was great because there were 1,000 stitch markers I wanted to get, and I never would have been able to pick one. So luckily fate was like, here you go. Here's Judy Garland letting you know exactly what you should buy. So got those. And then a couple doors down, there was this really cute little vintage shop and handmade shop. And I got this, it's a gift, even though I desperately want to keep it for myself. It is a tiny pot. Oh my gosh, like it's too, I can't even show you because my hand's too big. Look how cute it is. It's so cute and small. I love it. I'm putting together like a little package from all our stops for my friend whose birthday is next week. And she's normally traveling with us, but she's not this time. So that was my shopping adventure. And then the fun does not stop there. I went and got lunch and dinner at this place called the Rose. I can't remember. I got from the Rose fill in the blank. Ooh, yeah. Oh yeah, I'll show you. This will be for dinner. This is a banh mi salad with tofu. It looks incredible. And then this one did not survive the walk quite as well, but this is like a sort of an avocado toast situation, but it has mushrooms and cashew cream and those chickpeas. I think those are za'atar flavored. I mean, it looks great, even though it all sort of fell to the side. I guess I walked too jauntily. So I'm gonna have a little bit of lunch, do a little bit of work, maybe crochet a little square, and pack this one up for dinner. Okay, I reassembled it and it looks much nicer. I mean, still does not photograph as well. I ate one mushroom and it's already amazing, so. It's so late. We just got home, so sleepy, but I just want to say I'm so excited, thrilled that I finished my 6 big flowers for my wallflowers blanket, which means the next time I'm on the bus for any meaningful amount of time, I can connect my 2 big pieces into one big piece. It's just like a big milestone in the blanket, so that's awesome. Okay, I'm gonna go take my face off and go to sleep. And tomorrow, we're going to another yarn store and visiting a carousel. See you then. I just got back from hanging out with my friend and her parents, and we went to a carousel, which was really fun. And then we went to this cute little store called The Quilted Bear. Aren't you proud of me for remembering? The Quilted Bear, which is just like a big space where people, individual artists and sellers, can rent little booths. So cute. And then we went to the yarn store. It's called Willow Hill Yarn Company. And I got a couple things. They had 3 or 4 local dyers. One of them was the same local dyer that I got at yesterday's yarn store. But I decided to get 2 skeins since they had so many local dyers. I got a mini skein. Look how cute. This is Yarnaceous Fibers in the colorway Rogue? I'm gonna look it up and see what that's about. But it's really nice. I feel like I would love a whole sweater of this. And then from Lovejoy Fibers and Knits, this is called Great Salt Lake, which seemed fitting, right? They didn't have any minis of this, but this is where I am in my life, is I want all the yarn from all the places. So cute. And then I picked up another one for my friend for her little birthday package, so that will go with that. I got a little pin to commemorate this store. If you live in Utah or you're ever in Utah, in Salt Lake City area, this place, Willow Hill Yarn, is I think the shopping center doesn't feel like the right word, but the area that it's in is called The Villages, I think. I could be completely making that up, but it's really cute. They had a store that was stuff, it was like gifts from around the world, and they had a whole shelf of, like a whole bookshelf of Jane Austen, Pride and Prejudice, Emma things. I wanted to buy it all. I almost did. But then I thought, you know what? No, you can take a picture. You can buy it later if you really want it. But it's super cute. They had a fudge shop, they had a chocolate shop, they had a quilting shop. So it seems like just like a great place to spend an afternoon. And then I got a little stitch marker for my buddy. This is the Beehive State, so got her a little beehive. So her little trinket bag is coming along quite well. I think I have a few hours before my show tonight, so I think I'm going to finish my square from yesterday's place. Just turning out quite nice. I don't know that the camera really does it justice because it is very multi-dimensional. It's not metallic, but it almost has like the you know how metal things just like reflect the color differently, so the color is not always consistent based on what it's reflecting. That's what the color in this reminds me of. I really love it, which is good because I'm gonna have a whole big old skein of it left to do something with. So that's this guy. And I might go ahead and wind up Junior here and make this square too. What a lovely day. vlogger. What am I? A vlogger. I've been a very bad vlogger the past few days. Just been living my life and not filming much of it. But I thought I would hop on and say hi. I'm trying to do my makeup at the same time, which is clearly going well. So I'm in Las Vegas, Nevada, and the last time I was in Vegas was, I think, 2006, which is a long time ago. And I remember it being so charming and fun. Y'all, I don't feel that way anymore. I don't like it that much. I just went on a little walk about town, and it just was like Times Square, you know, just crowded and stuff to buy and more stuff to buy and more stuff to buy. It was like so overwhelming, and all the really charming parts now are kind of hard to see, like the New York and the Paris, and you can't really see it that well because there's so much. And when you just look, it's just like name brands everywhere, which is fine. Name brands are fine, but I feel a little sad because the Vegas that I remember is no more. It's a different beast now. I see the appeal, of course. Like, I see why people would like it, but it's not my thing. I did go to a yarn store, Sin City Knit Shop, which was so cute. And it was nice. I like it when I go to a yarn store and there's stuff going on there. There were people having classes and getting help, and there was, you know, a lady asking for help deciding how much yarn to buy for a pattern and stuff like that. It was just really, it's nice. I enjoy that. And I ended up getting some local yarn. I was really torn because they had two local dyers there, but one of them was much more my style, and the other was much more like blah, Vegas. And I went for the blah Vegas because I thought the point of this is not for it to represent me, it's to represent the place that I am. So I'm glad I did. I think it's a nice little color. Let me show it to you. It's kind of fun, right? And it's from Sin City Yarn. I almost went with the one that was like more my style because they didn't have any mini skeins. And I thought, well, if I'm gonna get a giant skein, I wanna be able to use the rest of it. But, and I surely will not wear that or use it for anything in my house. Not because I don't like it, just because it's like not the right vibe. So I did, but I do think I can use it for a little gift knit, or maybe something for my stepdaughter, you know, like a little pair of socks or mitts or something for my stepdaughter. I think she'd probably think it was fun. So yeah, should we do liquid? Let's do it. It's not really liquid, it's like a gel ink. It's not quite as scary as liquid. Anyway, it's been a really fun trip. I've gotten to see quite a few carousels. Oh, we did go to Circus today, which was so fun. I love roller coasters. I love carnival rides. So Circus was a good spot. And then our Uber driver told us that Circus has just been bought by Disney. So it's not gonna be Circus for many more years. So I'm glad we got in there because it's like one of the older places on the strip. And I like it. I like that vintage strip energy. Don't panic about how much blush I just put on, okay? I promise it will look normal on stage. How am I doing on time? I gotta go in 2 minutes. All right. Bye. This is just proof that I did not leave with 2 dots of concealer unblended under my eye. I did finish it before I left. It's my favorite video I've ever taken.
We're in Egypt.
I'm about to try something crazy. My blanket, let me show you my blanket. To be clear, showing you my blanket is not the crazy part, but it will help me explain the crazy part. Okay, here's my blanket. These 2 are not sewn in yet, and I have 2 more squares to make. Oh, this guy still needs to be blocked. Anyway, that's not the point. The point is, here's 1 square. You can see it's pretty small, and it's very thin. And I just was thinking, so I was watching Nitty Natty has a travel blanket that she's making, and she uses sock yarn as well, but she holds it double. And I wonder if that might make this like a little bit more blankety looking, because it is quite thin in its current state. So now I'm just curious, you know? So I have this skein that I just wound up. And it seems like a good one to try. Like if I can do this, holding it double and it doesn't just look like mud, then maybe it would be worth doing these all over. I don't know. I'm gonna try it because I don't want to wonder for the next 10 years if I should have done it double. I'm gonna try it and see if I like it. But first I'm going to put on a mask. It's time. To be clear, I don't really have the right size hook to do this. So this is just a baby experiment. I'm not gonna do a whole one. Also, how terrifying is this mask? Okay, check back in a few minutes. All right, here's the bad news. I really like it. I like the way it looks. And I like how thick it is. It's a little bit tight, stiff, because I think I would like to use a bigger hook. But I kind of love the way the fabric is turning out. So what I'm gonna do is tomorrow I'm gonna have a bigger hook on the bus. I'm gonna try making a square and see how I like it, see how big it is. Oh, it's like good news and bad news, right? Because the good news is it looks great. The bad news is it looks great, and that means I might start this whole blanket over again. To be continued tomorrow. Now I'm gonna peel my face off and go to sleep. Update. So we just got to our next hotel. I spent my bus ride working on my tour blanket. And here is my completed square. I love it. I like it so much more with the yarn held double. Which is great news because it means it's gonna be an even better finished object. But it's bad news because it means that I have to make my whole blanket over again. Before I fully make that decision though, I'm just doing one with a mini skein to make sure that a mini skein is enough yarn. I think it is, but just to be safe. But it's great. It uses more yarn. It's a much more blankety texture. And then with the with these like very, very variegated ones, it's actually a better, I like the look of the fabric better too. Let's see if I have another variegated one I can show you. Well, actually I like those two. I just like everything. Like this one is one of the lacy ones. It just feels like, it just doesn't feel like a blanket. This feels better. And it's easier to crochet too because it's a bigger gauge. That fingering weight gauge is quite fiddly. So I think I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna finish this one and then compare it to, this one's a good one to do actually because I've already made one. So I can really compare them side by side and see what I like more. Okay, so I've run out of yarn. This is how far I made it. I have about 2 2/3 rows left of just single crochet. This means that I will have to dismantle my single ply, my baby round here. But just like holding these two together, I like the bigger one so much more. I think something about, I guess like holding it double really brings out the softness of the yarn, and holding it single really brings out the sturdiness of the yarn. This is all sock yarn, so it's like, you know, it's got nylon in it. Yeah, I think this is a blanket. Which one's not? So I'm gonna dismantle. I'm gonna frog this guy and add it into Big Chongus here. And just so you can see, oh, is my camera gonna fall? Here are these two together. And I just love the way they look. I mean, they're not even blocked yet, obviously. I think they look so much better. I mean, to be clear, I really like my original one of just the yarn held single. But it feels more like it's like showing off the yarn better, and I'm using up more of the yarn, and it's more comfortable to crochet, and it's going to yield more of a blanket than this. So great. So how many do I have to do over? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. I think 15, maybe 14. 14. And that's okay. It's going to be worth it, right? Greetings from Fresno. We are in Fresno, California. And you know what's cool is out my window, I can see Audra McDonald Way. She's a famous singer, so that's kind of cool. Update on my blanket, my tour blanket. Let me show you all these pieces. So I have now finished, let me just show them to you because I think they're really beautiful. Let me start from the beginning. Definitely I'm going with the holding a double, and I've gone full steam ahead with making up the work that I had already done with the yarn held single. So starting with, this is from Sin City Yarn. Look how great it looks. This one is from Willow Yarn Company. I haven't sewn in all the ends yet. This one is also from Willow Yarn Company. I love the way these variegated ones look held double. This one is from Salt Lake City, from Handwork. Ooh. Now, the one from Handwork is actually a good example of, don't you love when you're doing like a granny square project and you just have squares everywhere? Here we go. So this one came from a full skein. So I have the original little guy. And I do like, I think the little guy is so delicate and pretty. But the big guy, I think actually shows the pattern better and is just so much more blanket-like and is so much more fun to crochet than this. So I'm super jazzed about it. The good news is that I also had the yarn. I had 3 yarns from my last trip. still in my bag. I just hadn't unpacked them. So I redid this one, which is from Knoxville. Gorgon's Blood. I will never forget the name of this. I love it. And I'm almost done with this one, which is from Nashville. And I have this guy, which is from Chattanooga. I'm like really impressed that I remember that. That was a whole month ago. This is from Chattanooga. Okay, so for these guys, for the mini skeins, I have had to take apart the squares that I had completed. So like, I'm gonna have to take this guy apart and do this. And many of these came from mini skeins, but not all of them. So the ones that came from from full-size skeins, I'm not gonna take them apart. I'm gonna just keep them. I don't know what I'll do with them. Maybe I'll make a little, oh my gosh, I could make a little like bunting to put on my seat so everybody knows it's mine on the bus. Like they wouldn't know it's mine. There's like a pile of yarn and yeah, I mean, everybody knows it's mine, but that would still be fun. I might do it. Anyway, this one and this one, finishing this one and then starting this one. I cannot do the rest because I don't have the yarn with me. So I have to wait till I get home to make up those. But I'll probably finish it today. Finish making up those ones, which is good because I have a day off from buying yarn, a couple days off. My next yarn store is not for at least a day, maybe 2 days. So that's good. I feel really happy about it. I am not going to piece them together until I have all of the ones done and then just do them all in one swell foop, as my dad would say. Yeah, there's my update. Do what I do and lay squares on top of me so you can pretend to see what it's going to look like as a blanket. This is so much better. Thank you, Nitty Natty, for ruining my hopes and dreams of a single held single crochet project and inspiring me to do a held double crochet project because it's great. And this blanket's going to be huge. Let me just actually put these out and see kind of what it looks like down on this lovely table here at where I think I'm at a Fairfield Inn. Does it say anywhere? I think. I can't block these because, my blocking mat is designed for the small one. So I'm gonna have to make a new blocking mat, but that's okay. Okay, I'm gonna put this partial one there. This is worth your time, I promise. So here are the big guys. Well, that one's not quite big yet because I have to finish it. And then here is the small guys. Here is the small guys. I love grammar. It's just nice to see them side by side because this is 6, this is 11. And they're very close to the same size, which is my mathematical way of saying that this blanket is going to be big. So now that we're in Fresno, we only have one more hotel that we're going to stay in, which I'm so excited about. The most tiring part of traveling to me is getting in and out of hotels, packing up. And every time I pack up things in a slightly different order. So it's always a real adventure to see what I did. And I've really started to push the envelope on how much time it takes me to pack. I'm supposed to be on the bus in 20 minutes. I can probably get dressed, make a tea, and pack all my things that I have to be on the road for 3 weeks. I can do that, right? And sadly, I can, which means I just keep pushing it. But we're almost there. One more hotel, and then we get to stay in that hotel for a few days, which is really nice.
which is the best. I'm really excited about the next hotel because that's the one that is walking distance to a verb for keeping warm. And I've picked out a pattern, and I have an idea of what yarn I want to get there, but I'm gonna give myself the freedom to be inspired. And I'm so excited to go squish every dang skein of yarn. It's gonna be great. There's also a carousel really close. It's just like, it's like they picked that hotel for me and my weirdo hobbies. I'm excited to finish up this square. I'm gonna finish up the other one. You know what? Maybe I should dismantle the mini square before I leave. That's probably a good idea. Okay, bye. Hi. I feel like it's been a while since I checked in. But here I am. I'm in Emeryville, California, and it's been a great trip. I've done a lot of crochet. I've done a lot of shopping. So let me show you what I got. Starting with, let's see, today is Saturday. So on Thursday, I went on a little adventure. I went to a merry-go-round that is over 100 years old. It's from 1911, and I got this great book, Tilden Regional Park Merry-Go-Round, 100 Years of Spinning Dreams. It's really cute. It was a beautiful carousel. It's very well maintained, and the guy who worked there was so sweet. He took a picture of me on the frog that I was riding. And then, the part that you're probably more interested in, I went to a yarn store after that. It's called Black Squirrel Yarns. Let me get out all my little treats that I got there. Because I went hog wild. I didn't go that crazy, but I did get lots of little things. So, I've already crocheted the two yarns that I got there. Here they are. Yes, this one, and so many little tags. This one, okay. So, the first, luckily this store, okay, start over. Black Squirrel Yarns, it's a beautiful store in the Berkeley area. And it was one of my favorite stores I think I've been to, actually. And they had so many mini skeins, which made my decision making difficult. Usually it's like, oh, there are only 3 mini skeins, and this one's my favorite. But this one, I was like, I could buy a sweater's quantity of a lot of these. But I did not. So the first one that I settled on is from Silver Pennies Yarn Co. And this is in the color Rose Hip. so pretty. I love this color. It's really great. And then the second one, I ended up getting two because this is hand dyed in California, but this one is an undyed, and this is Black Squirrel Yarns. Black Squirrel, the store I was at. This is called their Sparkle Sock Mini undyed. So it's undyed, but it has a little bit of stellina in it for sparkles. And I just thought that was so lovely, and it's so soft. I really loved it. So I got those two to add to my tour blanket. And I already crocheted them up. I did them like right away. As soon as I got them, I was like, let's go. So let me add them. My tour blanket is really coming along. I'll update you on that momentarily. Then I also got this little one from Speckle and Friends. This is another local dyer. This is to add to my friend's birthday bag. Today is her actual birthday. Happy birthday, Amanda! So I got this one for her. And then I got this Perennial Kelborn Woolens. This is merino, alpaca, and nylon. It's like a mini skein. It's so teeny tiny. It was only $4, but it was just so soft. I think I'm gonna make like a little lovey with it, like a little stuffed heart, because I kept coming back to squish it. So this might become my little comfort object. I love it. Ooh, so squishy. And then I got these cute little stitch markers. This is I'm gonna add this to my friend's bag, birthday bag. Let me get them all lined up so you can see them. And more, okay. This, oh my gosh, I just lined them up and then they flopped. So careful, so careful, so careful. I hope you can see them. All right, this set is called California. So these are all little animals that live in California and flowers and stuff. Oh, it's so cute. From Joe Studio. Oh, and Joe, they told me as I was checking out, Joe actually works at the yarn store, so that's kind of cool. And then I got these little squirrel needle stoppers, because squirrel. And I got some washable mending transfers, which is pretty cool. These are the patterns. And last but not least, I got some little mini packets of delicate wash, wool wash, partially to try different scents and partially just because it might be nice to just have these for the road so I don't have to bring a bottle. I forgot to bring it with me this time, but I got those. Okay. I think that's everything. Check all my flat surfaces. My room is a disaster, so. I could use some water though. Hydrate! Okay. So yesterday I went to A Verb for Keeping Warm, and I first found A Verb for Keeping Warm yarn through Reddit. There's like a yarn swap that you can do where people sell their stash, and I bought 3 skeins from this. And it was a person whose dog was having surgery and they were selling their yarn stash to help pay for the surgery. So I was like, yes, I will buy this yarn. And then that's what I ended up learning to knit on. It's like this beautiful merino cashmere blend. So I was like ruined for life now. I always have to have the most luxurious fibers. Well, since then I have used their fibers. I've used their yarn quite a few times. I should say I've bought their yarn quite a few times because it takes a long time to knit and crochet. But I love it. And I my hotel is like a 20-minute walk from their storefront. So I went. Just everything I touched. I wanted to buy everything. And they have this really cool thing if you're ever in this area. Maybe you can do it online too. But they have all these bins of solid colors. And then you can pick different colors and sort of curate your own dye. And then they will dye it to order and send it to you in 3 or 4 weeks. So cool, right? Ugh, I love that. Okay, so let me show you what I got. I went in with the intention of getting yarn for the Scotch broom wrap. I looked at their website to see like what different weights and fiber types they had, and so I sort of narrowed it down of what might work, but also knowing I might go in there and just get inspired. So I ended up getting their Wild Bloom, which is 41% baby alpaca, 35% silk, 13% merino, and 10% yak. And this is in the colorway Sweet Yam. I love it so much. I went for this one because this is the closest I could get to the yarn that the Scotch broom was actually designed for. And I looked at the patterns, I looked at the projects. It starts with a P. I looked at the projects, and some people did it with just plain merino, and I didn't love it as much without the floofiness. So I made sure to get a yarn with a floofiness to it. And so I'm super excited. This will be my first time knitting with floofy. So that'll be cool. And I love it. It's so soft. So that will be the Scotch broom cardigan. And then there was another yarn that I had to get it. I just kept doing laps around the store. There were 2 different colorways right next to each other. One is the one that I got, and the other one was just sort of a plain mauve, but like the most beautiful, elegant, like classy. I don't know, can a color be classy? It was so gorgeous. And I just kept doing laps and looking at them both. And there was another woman who was doing the same thing. Like I would look, and then as soon as I'd walk away, she would walk up and look at it. And then we just kept trading places. And it was clear that we were like, who's gonna do it? Who's gonna buy this? In the end, I decided to get the variegated one because it's called Foggy Butterfly, and I love butterflies, and that whenever I have a hard time making a decision, I let the name sort of direct me. And also the other one, I don't remember the actual colorway name, but there were only 2. So I took a picture of it. I was like, if I can't stop thinking about this color, then I can always order some of it. But I ended up getting the variegated one because there were more. So I got 3 skeins of it, and I didn't have a pattern exactly in mind. I had a few that I was thinking about, and so I felt pretty confident about the amount of yarn I needed to get. Anyway, here it is. 70% alpaca, super fine alpaca, 20% silk, 10% cashmere, 100% so beautiful. I love it. I love it so much. And in fact, I think I'm going to start with this one because I found a pattern for it. I can't think of the name of it, but I'll put it up on the screen. And today is the last day of my work trip, and I'm staying out here in California to visit with my brother for a week. And so I thought this would be a good knit that is a little bit, not mindless, but it doesn't have as intricate a pattern as the Scotch broom. I think I'll probably want to sit with that for a little bit. So I think I'm going to cast on at least my gauge swatch today. Words are hard. I'm struggling with words. I'm running out of time. I got plenty of time. So I got this. It was beautiful. The yarn there is quite expensive, but it also, almost all of it has cashmere in it, and it's just really high quality. It's all dyed with natural dyes, and the company just feels like an incredibly ethical, wonderful company. So there it is. Oh, did I say this is floating? This is their fiber type, their blend called floating. I love it. Okay, I'll stop petting my cheek with this yarn. Let me give you a tour blanket update. When we last saw our heroes, our Shiro, I had decided to, go from these cute little squares to these bigger squares. So I'm holding the yarn double. It's perfect. It uses, like, this is how much yarn I have left from my white that undyed with a little bit of pink thrown in there. This is it. It's just like a little scrap. So that's perfect. I did take apart some of the ones that I had to make them into the big ones, right? Took apart a small one to make it into a big one. And I have run into a little bit of a hiccup. This is not a hiccup. Where are the hiccups? Excuse me, are you a hiccup? Are you a hiccup? Here's a hiccup. Here's one. This is how much yarn is left, and I have a whole nother round. So what I decided to do, hold on, there's another hiccup that is a good demonstration. Oh, here it is. This guy. Yeah, this one I have like many rounds left. I got sort of to the same place where I had like maybe 1 1/3 rounds left, and I was like, I'm out of yarn. But what I had done is I had just unraveled the last square, the small square, and just added it in. And so, you know, when it's straight out of a come on, guys. When it's straight out of another project, it comes out like ramen noodles. And so what I did is I then unraveled what I had done and put it on my little board here and give it some time to stretch out. I might just steam it and see if I can get it to stretch out, if that's the issue. Because none of the ones that I did straight from the skein, those have all been enough. And so I'm hopeful that I can still make these work. If not, then I think what I'll do is just find a similar yarn that's already in my blanket to finish out the round. For instance, let's see. This one is not exactly similar, but I thought this one would be a fine last round to do. And then this purple one, I actually have another purple in the blanket. This yarn is at home, so I haven't done this one again, but could just do like 1 round of that, or even 1 round of this might be nice. I think it'll be pretty easy. In the grand scheme of things, I'm not going to be terribly concerned about it, because as we know, the way to do this project is just like go with it, right? Should we do that thing where I lay all the squares on me? Would it be an update if I didn't do that? No, it wouldn't. These are not in the right order. I'm just putting them up. What do you think? It's a blanket, right? I'm really excited about it. I will give an update on it once I stitch them all together, and I have to wait till I'm home to finish to redo the previous ones, because I don't have all that yarn with me. But we feel really, really good about the decision to do the double thickness and I am loving, it just feels so much blanketier. Blanketier.
So thirsty.
I did check at a Verb for Keeping Warm just to see if they had any sock yarn, and they did, but it wasn't their brand. And I just thought, I already have 2 yarns that are from this area. I don't need to buy another one from a Verb for Keeping Warm. I made that just, I'll have a whole 2 sweaters to remember a Verb for Keeping Warm. And I just had to give you one other little update, which is my Wallflowers blanket. I'm so close to finishing the middle. I have 4 little hexies left, and I'm going to finish it today. It's my goal. As soon as I finish recording this, I'm going to do probably 2 hexies, pack my stuff, do the other 2 hexies, and then send this home on the bus. I'm really excited. I'm excited to get the last 4 in because they're the darkest color. I'll be honest, I still don't really know if I like the colors. I think part of it is like you looking at it so up close, all I can see is the different colors, but it is actually cohesive when you look at it from afar. It's been helpful to just take a picture and look at the picture because it helps me see the whole thing instead of like this, you know. But I'm excited to be to this next step. I don't know if I would make this again just because I have so many other things that I want to make. But if I do, I have some ideas about what colors I would use the next time. I just need to live a long, long time to be able to do all the things I want to do. Well, I guess this is the last day. I'm not gonna do updates on my vacation because I'm gonna be too busy vacationing. But I will just say, thank you so much for watching. If you made it this far, I don't know how long this video is going to be, but it feels like it's going to be long. I've been on the road a long time. But thank you. Thank you for watching. Thank you for your feedback. Thank you for comments and your likes. If you want to stick around, click the subscribe button, and I'll see you around. See you next time. Have fun, be nice, and do good work.